So the exchange continued, and it started with Mike Anter, the Toronto Sun, basically asking Nick if he thought the comments that he made in Philadelphia had backfired, and this approach had backfired. So here's the exchange.
Do you think that backfired?
No.
Because, I mean, you kind of opened the door to all the questions.
I did, or you guys did?
On Friday in Philadelphia,
Yeah.
when you brought it up like that, it opened the door to a lot of this stuff. I'm just wondering, do you regret that?
Not at all. I mean, I think the door got opened weeks before, right?
Good.
Because anyone, I don't think anyone here asked you specifically about your future, and
Well, was it being reported or not being reported? My future.
there was one story, as far as I know. I don't know if that subject had ever been raised prior to that, and I think that instance in Philly, I think it was a pretty general question. I know the person who asked it, I asked them about it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think the way you answered it was, I don't know if confusing is the right word, but it kind of allowed some interpretations in terms of, you've been here for a long time, you've been to reflect about your relationship with the front office. It would have been.
Well, my stance on my relationship with the front office is what I just said earlier. Masai really wants to win. I really want to win. We're driving to try to figure out how to get back to a championship level, right? I think, again, our communication is open and honest with each other. I think that's all that I can say there.
By the way, it's so funny because we actually, as part of the live show, we even did a segment with Bobby Webster about essentially PR training, about how to get Bobby better at the PR aspect of it. And one of the examples we use was anytime you get asked a hard question, you can use the Masai approach and start talking about winning, and the focus is on winning. And you just notice right there, the whole conversation was about Nick and his comments about his future, and all of a sudden that conversation shifted because Nick started talking about winning. It's a slick move, man. I gotta say, if you're not in the press conferences all the time, you wouldn't understand how this game works. But
Yeah, so that was Michael Grange in the second part of it. Mike Anter had asked the initial question in that exchange.
Yep.
I think it's just, for me, I don't have a problem with Nick looking towards, what his job security is beyond his contract for next season and looking at other opportunities. It's just that in this particular scenario, this narrative and this storyline was really just not brought to the forefront until he did. That's it.
We've
That's
done
really
this
it.
before.
Yeah,
But
that's
again,
it.
he wasn't put on the spot on any of the days leading up to it. One story came out. It was asked generally, hey, your season's been up and down. Where's your head at? And he took it in that direction. And now he's saying that was to distract from the team. But obviously, again, how do you think the reaction in the locker room was? We're never going to get the players to say on record, hey, we were all pissed about it. But, what do you think happened in that locker room when that happened?
No, for sure. And, generally Nick talked about...
okay, sure.
No, Nick talked about the state of the team. He was asked about the team's selfish play and, kind of what else they need on the roster. He talked about them having to work on fixing the transition defense during the season, needing more bench production, running the half-court offense better, etc. He was also asked if he believes that his message is still getting through, and then he said yes.
What's he supposed to say?
I know, but that's my question for you, is that him talking about the team moving forward and him addressing his future, does it change, based on what you heard from him today? Does it change in terms of what you think is going to happen between Nick Nurse and the Raptors?
What he said today?
No, based on what you heard from him today, do you think Nick Nurse is going to be back as a head coach next season?
I mean, I don't think so, but I think that no one really knows what Masai is going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a huge caveat that we have to put into this. You and I might hear things, but we have not heard it directly from Masai in a complete moment of honesty. We have not, even Bobby in this case, which, by the way, Bobby does not make that decision. So this would be Masai. So, but even we haven't heard that from Bobby. We haven't heard it from Nick Nurse in a moment of true honesty that he is going to move on or that he wants to move on. So again, all this has to be couched with those statements. And I'm not really sure about the reporting aspect of all of this, but I'm sure that it'll be difficult to get a clear answer out of them, even if they wanted to inform these reports in the first place. So again, all of this is secondhand. So I don't want to say that this is a thing locked in stone because no one will really know that. I'm not even sure Masai knows that. I think he's going to sit down, interact with Nick. Nick was carrying out the season-ending meetings that he does with the players as they leave to go on their way, and And so, you got to go through that process. You got to go through that process with the front office. The front office got to check in with Nick, and they make a decision together, right? But at the same time, what I just didn't like, my whole issue with this whole process, like you said, I don't really mind if someone wants to look out for their future and figure out where they're going to go next. What I do mind is, it was at the right time for it. Was that the right approach? Did that tangibly help the Raptors when he came out and said that before that Philly game where they lost? Right? And did that help the Raptors in the rest of the season? Is it helpful that this has become a huge talking point? Right? The Toronto media isn't even that aggressive with anything, except maybe the Maple Leafs. So, we're not here every single day trying to hold this man's feet to the fire. But you see the
Otto Porter just heard feet. No,
sorry, sorry. He's fine. He's on 9 toes.
This guy's the Raptors media of feet.
Oh man, but that's not what happens here. But at the same time, he chose that direction. I don't think it really helped anybody other than him in his reputation, that scenario. And ultimately, when we're looking back on the season, this is something that's going to be questioned. And so my whole thing is, don't play it one way and then say it's the other way. It's not that hard to sort of track some of these things out. And I think the other aspect too is just it's not like there's been unhappy, 5 years as head coach or 10 years as in the organization. It's been a very happy time, a very successful time. He is the best winning percentage in Raptors history. He's the only championship in the Raptors history. He's helped the Raptors to very great heights. Even when he was an assistant, that year Dwayne Casey won Coach of the Year, Nick Nurse had a huge part to play in that. He's a phenomenal coach. He's a very, very, smart man. He's got a lot of smart schemes, and honestly, in the scope of history, he's going to be very well remembered in Toronto. But it's not like there's nothing left here. So even if you are going to exit, can we exit in a peaceful way or in a smooth way, right? So yeah, that's all. That's all I'm trying to say, man.
Yeah, and some of the players were also asked about Nick Nurse's comments and his future with the team, and he was endorsed by Scotty, who says he loves playing for Nick and he allows him to play freely. Fred said he'd be surprised if Nick wasn't back next year. OG said that Nick's a great coach.
But again, what are they supposed to say?
No, but this is all I'm saying.
They're going to come up and be like, yeah, actually, I would like to see that.
I'm just providing the information.
Gotcha. Okay.
And Pascal said, quote, he's a huge part of who I am as a player. I don't know what the future holds. I try to focus on the present and what's
back
here
when
right
Dwayne
now.
Casey was like, Pascal, go over there, run, rebound, and give up the ball. It was Nick Nurse who saw that Pascal had all these point and forward qualities and was pushing Dwayne to even bring those forward in the first place. He deserves a lot of credit. Which again, this should be even if it is a split, it should be a happy split.